He is the playmaker. He's Irv, three-time Super Bowl champ, and he is a Hall of Famer. And he is a proud member of the U. He was on the sidelines. Mike, you were more excited than the players during that Notre Dame game.
Well, I don't know about that, DP, because I certainly didn't put in the work that they put in. But Dan, listen, I know, I know I'm approaching, 60 years old. Those are young men playing, just having fun. It's my job to let them know these are the greatest times of your life.
Yeah.
Don't let these slip away. You're writing your history and go right well so you can be an old man like me and reminisce well later. You know what I'm saying? But it's so great to be out there with those guys, Dan, and be able to feel like you're part of something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They look at me, they say, "Oh, we love it when you here, man." And it's just, yeah, that does things for me, man. So I enjoy it.
What was it like to watch the Cowboy documentary when you're reopening a scrapbook there?
Well, yeah, it was easy for me because it was my life. I walked out it. I live on it. I live in my head with it all the time anyway. And and then it was time to really open up and share about a lot of things. The world has moved forward and changed. And now you can use your history to try to help somebody have a better destiny if you open up and share. So that's what I thought it was time to do in the documentary. And I thought they did a great job. I thought they did a great job at shooting it and allowing people to share and try to straighten out some of the stories, that always get greater later and turn in their lies. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So,
what's the one story that you wanted to correct?
well, I don't want to say I want to correct, but like you know the guy that sold that Boys Would Be Boys book walking around like I took a pair of scissors and just walked up and stabbed Everett MacGyver in the neck and stuff like that, even though it was all wrong. But that's not what happened. We were getting haircut and everything, and actually I was getting my ass kicked. You see what I'm saying? I was for really getting my ass kicking, and in order to try to defend myself, I did something stupid, stuff like that. But and we were out drinking the night before. We were out drinking before that. We were all, and what I was doing was revving the young lineman, just like I did with Big E, just like we did with Larry Allen, to make sure they're ready when it's time. He was the new guy coming in. We were like, "Come on, new guy, you're the new guy," things like that. And we had already had some drinks prior to that, I think. And then Big E was messing with him, telling me, "Come on now, you ain't gonna let that little black gonna say something to you like that, right?" And every guy, and then he came in. Yeah, he was whooping my butt there, right there for a
Wait, so
moment.
then you grabbed the scissors.
Yeah, and I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. And I thank him today, though, Rich. I mean, I'm calling you Rich because I'm so used to you and Rich together. DP, I thank him today for the way he handled that. You know what I mean? I was trying to, I talked to Big E, and we can't, I was looking for his number. I just wanted to reach out to him again because when you see the documentary, it makes you think and relive all of it. And you think about how important that moment was and the way he handled it for me to still be at this moment that I am in my life. So it makes you want to reach out and just tell him thank you again.
Are the Cowboys better this week than last week?
I can't say that. And that's a
Why do you
hurting
think
question.
Jerry feels that way?
That's fitting. I say I can't say that, and that's a hurting question. And then you ask that question, and I'm giving you because he's because he's hurting. That's the answer. I know when I saw this, I felt his pain in that press conference. I know the relationship he wanted with Micah. I certainly know the relationship Micah wanted with Jerry. When I did that draft, I was at that draft. I was spot. Michael came up to me and said, I'm going to do just what you doing. I'm going to be just going to do this." He said this, and then you'll see after the Cowboys actually draft him, we were in the back yelling like, "Ah!" He wanted to play for the Cowboys. He wanted to win championships. And he wanted to be doing TV just like me. This is what he said to me day one of the draft. Now, I know and he wanted a life after football and in this business. And what do you think that podcast would have been? He was building $100 million podcast as long as he was playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's no longer that anymore. So I know he got a good deal, which really comes out to be 5 years, 42 million a year, but a great deal, and he got the money, but I still say it's a failure. Certainly for the Cowboys, but I think for him also. I think he did like what your boy said, better for his agent than what's best for him.
Yeah, it feels like he still is a cowboy in his mind. Like he wanted to
Yeah.
be a cowboy.
Yeah. And the agent who does a great job went on our boys show yesterday, Stephen A. And he said Micah wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy. Then your next statement is null and void to me. Everything else is null and void because you blew your job. I don't want to hear you tell me I raised the number by $5 million. That's new money, new year. That's future value, not present value, because we're starting right here, even though it's only a year later. Right? But it's 5 year deal for 42 million. You could have worked out a deal where Micah's taking home more money. You could have worked out a deal and they should have put their egos aside and got that deal worked out. The number one thing he said was Michael wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy. That's your job, to go get the most money from the Dallas Cowboys. That was your job, and they failed at it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And it felt like Jerry, his feelings are hurt, and you're not going to talk to me that way. I get deals done. I've made deals all my life. That's how I got here. Who are you to tell me to stick that contract, up my rear end?
Yeah, but also, I understand that. I understand. I don't care how Jerry reacts. It is how you reacts to Jerry's reaction. And when Stephen A asked, he said, "Did he try to send a contract?" He said, "I told him, yeah." He said yes. He said yes. He said, "I said to Adam, if you guys think I'm going to rubber stamp it, don't send it." That shouldn't have even come out of your mouth. Send the contract, go it over, red line in the contract what you did not like, put your numbers in and send it back. You are in a full negotiation. Jerry may have said, well, he said, shove it up your butt. He said he never said that. I can buy that. But then on the other end, I must extrapolate from him that there's no way he just said, I told him I'm not going to rubber stamp it if you guys were already in a heated moment. So, yeah, you should have taken that contract and negotiated. That's my thought. I got my opinion, and if Michael's and everybody happy, then I'm okay with it. But I just thought he wanted to be here.
Michael Irvin, Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champ. How's Dion doing?
You know how Dion's doing. Dion had a game he could have won the other night. He had that game. That was a big game.
But
So,
but health wise, health wise,
health-wise, he's great. Health-wise, he's great. Health-wise, he's in the best place he could be. That's right back on the sideline with his guys. I told you, Dan, when I went to see him and he was really at his lowest, all he talked about to me, which was amazing, was, you know, I haven't seen my players. And I told him it reminded me when my dad was very sick and went to the doctor and all he was thinking about was his family. It tells you the power and how powerful that kind of man is. It's that, so yeah, he was like that, thinking only about his players when he was at his lowest, and now his players are probably feeling low. Yeah, you know how he feels right now. But health-wise, he's healthy.
if I told you that you could pick, you had to pick Miami Hurricanes win the national title or the Cowboys win the Super Bowl.
I would take the team that I've already won a championship with. You know, whichever team I've already won a championship with, that's the team I pick.
So you'd pick the Cowboys.
I won a championship in both
I
teams, buddy.
know. But
That's all I'm telling you, buddy. That's that answer right there.
yeah.
Don't try to
See, I wouldn't
don't try to
allow. I know.
don't try to put me in
Oh,
between.
come on.
That ain't the first time. One time Miami, a team from Florida came up here to play a team in Texas, in high school football. I was on the sideline. They were trying to pin me. What state you going for? I said, hey, I play the state I won a championship in, and that was gold. You know what I'm saying? So I'm riding.
How do the Eagles not go back to the Super Bowl?
Man, first of all, they have a great team. They have a great team. And it's going to take someone to go take it because they won't give it. Because he's a great leader in Jalen Hurts, man. The way he just go about his business. And the best thing happened to that team. And I'm not talking about for his ability to run the football. I'm talking about for his ability to run himself, his way, his personality, with Saquon Barkley coming over and showing that kind of leadership to the A.J. Browns and the Devontae Smiths, that it ain't about us individually, it's about us collectively. And now they're dangerous. They are the favorites, and you got to go take it from them. The only way they lose it is if they lose that glue. That glue is Saquon Barkley.
How often do you talk to Troy?
I talked to Troy quite a bit. I saw him the last couple weeks. We had a couple things we were doing together. Like, of course, I had him on my podcast and on my YouTube channel. And then we went to Jimmy's retirement party. You know what I mean? We snuck in Jimmy's retirement party from Fox. So yeah, we get out, we get around and get to talk. But we all do. Emmett also, Dan, that's the great thing. We're still all best boys and still hanging around and still talking football and get to talk about what's going on now with the Cowboys.
But Troy didn't socialize with you back in the day with the Cowboys, did he?
No, Dan, that's a nice way of asking because I appreciate your respect for Troy Aikman. No, Troy never came to the White House, Dan, if that's what you're trying to get to.
Well, wasn't Troy dating Sandra Bullock back then?
Troy never did. Troy was one of them rares, boy. They'll tell you Troy came home and nigga people in his house, he called the police. That's what Troy does. He was the right kind of guy. I was like, whoa.
But wasn't he dating Sandra Bullock at one point?
Yeah, well, I don't remember if it was Sandra Bullock, but he had you know how they do that thing on Instagram or something on the social media where they say the women you dated.
Yes.
Right. He was the quarterback for the
Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, but Troy was young, blonde hair, blue eyes, and boy had that shotgun. Well, I'm gonna leave that alone. Don't try to get me in trouble, Dan. But
no, you get yourself in trouble. I'm not trying
to. It's okay. It's okay now. I don't really got a job right now, so we can get me in trouble. It's all good.
Great to talk to you, Irv. Great to talk to you, man.
I miss you too, DP. I miss you too, man. I'm glad to see you doing well still, my brother. You just keep pounding away.
Thank you, man.
God bless you, my brother. Love you.
Michael Irvin won a national championship at the U in 1987. Wasn't he the 11th overall pick, just like Micah Parsons? Does that sound right? Was both the 11th overall pick? Is Mike still there? Mike, were you the 11th overall pick?
I was the 11th. I think did Micah Parsons go to 14th? No, he wore 11.
He wore 11.
I think because he dropped in his draft or something, and I told him, you don't drop to the Cowboys. You are placed to the Cowboys by God
Of
Himself.
course. Of
And
course.
now,
Of course.
now this has happened. You shouldn't have left that placement, but that's what I told.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Uh,
Marv, where was Micah Parsons?
12th overall.
12th overall. Okay. I thought they were both the 11th.